Oh no, this season's not as summery, I guess, is one way to put it. They're not in the air anymore, they're on the ground. They make a much more dulcet tone than the chimes, which I guess any tone would be more dulcet, but we have some much more sobering sounds in the background. With the rain, leaves have changed. Instead of being bright, vibrant colors, they're sandy, kind of earth tones. Looks like it is definitely autumn. And with that, as we move on from the wonderness and of playing in a magical world, we can kind of reflect on how we explore this vital world and it becomes a seasonal spectacle. And the dynamics of nature, they create that seasonal spectacle. We can kind of look at and see at this point in the game what systems are in Proteus. To put in the classic game studies question, what systems are in Proteus and what do those systems express? What do those systems express? We have day and night, which control what events take place on the island. We can move towards animals or plants or other things and they'll create a kind of reaction or an event within the scene. And music will play or they'll react in some way. Then there's the location-based events that the player can stumble upon, especially those that are at the end of each level of the game. So like those portals are an event that the player can stumble upon. And then finally, there's the system of the seasons that represent a new level of the island. So all of these systems together develop this vital world that examines how nature changes. It examines the cycles of life and death and how they propagate. We have, on a micro scale, the power to kind of bother bunnies and collude with clouds. And that's what we do to impact the world around us. But on the macro level, we have very little power over things like the changing of the seasons. And so, although we are arbiters in our own adventure, there's also an extent where we can only stand in awe with the plants and the animals that are with us and watch as the world changes. And even other times we can embrace some of those specific natural chaoses in an almost godlike way, which we'll find especially as the game ends. Or where the points in the game we find hidden events that break the rules of the game as we know them. Oh, big cliff. It's just a big rock on the end of a big cliff. So, these systems, when they work together, they really express something that we don't get in games a lot. Games often create a power fantasy, where it's like Gears of War, all rise all the time. There's no reason to have flow, because you just win, 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 win. Alternatively, this is a space where the player, or the person interacting with this space, is actually not only doesn't have as much to interact with, but actually has quite a lot to interact with, but at the same time is also forced to succumb to natural laws of nature. And that's not necessarily a comfortable thing for a lot of game players. I can't do anything over stopping the sun from setting. But I can note that it's a very beautiful thing to see happen. And so I get to appreciate that on my own and with you guys, and I think that's really wonderful. I don't know what these statues have to do with anything. Maybe I won't ever know. Maybe they're just a marker on the island for events that could happen. But they're there. And I don't necessarily need to find out why they're there. Whoa. This is one of those points where we can embrace a new kind of chaos. We have stumbled upon an event that we don't have control over except for just by being here, and it seems that time has actually stopped entirely. Nothing is moving around us. Looks like the moon has even stopped in the sky. Just a weird event taking place at a strange, crooked house in the middle of the night. And I don't think we saw this house in any of the other seasons. It might have been there, but it also might not have. And I can't really be sure. So we have broken one of the most essential rules of the game, that time flows. In Proteus, time continues. But here it does not. And that is amazing for a game to break its most essential rules. Even if it's just for a moment. Oh, there's a little owl. Saw it just for a second. Popped up. This is the release that I was talking about. We had an event where we broke one of the fundamental rules to the game, that time continues, and then because there's nothing left that we can do, there becomes a point where we have to stopping time or something. we have to leave the event. We have to continue with our lives. And the world has to continue spinning. And so, although it's a momentary break of nearly godlike proportions, after that now we have kind of a fall, an ease into whatever we find next, which is apparently some kind of snowy aurora borealis, space dust in the sky. I don't really know, but it's... I don't know if I can find more of those. The music has kind of picked up to become much more mysterious. There's a lot more of these. They're like lightning bugs or snowflakes. Just white dots. I want to go down the big hill, though. Kind of getting a little off track. But I want to go down the big hill. Whoa, there's like a big graveyard. Uh-oh. The resolution, or the, oh, what's that called in colors? Everything's saturated. Everything's becoming more saturated, and just like it did in the time-stopping house hut. Oh! There we go. There's another one. So what happens when we go into it? Oh, there's another one over there! Maybe I found a trail. Yeah, there we go. Looks like there's a little trail we can follow. It also seems like autumn is much longer than the last 2 seasons that we were in. Or at least the day lasts longer. Oh, side of the hill. Oh, all the saturation went away. That's another point where not only the game plays with your sense of wonder by allowing you to interact with things, but also, like in this case, changing the colors, changing the sounds, just dynamic shifts in tone. Wow, I think we just got kinda messed up on some drugs or something. And there's a trail following us, and it's like the stars are dancing in a way. Whoa! There's a person that looks like a penguin, and it's running! It's running! Ah, it's running! I gotta chase it! Where are you taking me? I kind of want to know where it's taking me, but I also kind of am enjoying the chase. Enjoying that this is such a different thing to happen. Because now there's a person, now I'm chasing their little stream. Keeps looking back at me. We just passed the giant tower again, one of the like 3 giant towers that we keep passing. No, I'm gonna get you! They're a very fast person, and they can run through trees. Flap flap! It reminds me of a penguin. Or maybe even the Penguin from Batman. Oh, where'd it go? I must have... I think I lost it. I don't know, maybe it just took me here to... There's a little... green bugs or something. Just some glowy bits. Oh, the moon's setting. What happens when the next day starts? Or do I not want to be here to find out? Maybe I melt on the second day. That'd be quite unfortunate and a drastic shift in tone for this game. Suddenly it goes 3D Skyrim and shows your character melting into a puddle of goo. Wow, that would be a twist. They'd be like, haha, Solon, you thought you figured my game out, but you didn't. I'd be like, alright, yeah, I didn't figure it out. You're right. I am a puddle of goo now. Didn't see that one coming. Bye, moon. Oh, there's the big swarm of flies to release us from autumn, and I would assume send us into winter. It feels like the wind is kind of blowing me towards this area. We're moving very quickly down hills and stuff. Oh, is that another shooting star or something being launched into space? Probably a critter. Probably a critter. And the bunnies just jumped. I was like, later, I'm going to Jupiter. Whew, we made it. Back in the big ring of, like, tombstones. Oh, buddies. They look so sad. They look like there are people on their backs. That's what it looks like.